Okay, y'all, this is a one-handed hoop isolation. Again, for the past 2 weeks when I have been out hooping, people have really responded well to this move, the two-handed isolation and the one-handed isolation. And I have had to teach this a lot, so I'm going to make a tutorial for it. Of course, there are lots and lots of other tutorials on YouTube, so if this doesn't help you, check some of those out. You just search for one-handed tutorial. So let me hurry before it starts to rain here. Alright, so you want to start with your hand around 6 o'clock, one hand. You might start with your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I am starting with my right hand. We're going to go clockwise. I have to think about that sometimes. So if you're teaching children, again, clockwise, counterclockwise, those might be terms that you define for them before you start. And even talk about left and right, because some children may still be working on remembering their left and right hands. So we're going to start with our right hand, or if you're left-handed, maybe start with your left hand. You're at 6 o'clock, clockwise, crank up till about 10 o'clock. You want to release. I'm going to do this slow so it won't look exactly right. You release that hand and you let the hoop go over the back of your hand. And then you twist your hand around, it's kind of awkward, and grab the hoop, and it'll be about 2 o'clock, and then you crank down to 6 o'clock. So, crank up to 10 o'clock, release, grab at 2 o'clock, your thumb will be pointing down. You'll be giving a thumbs down here, crank down to 6 o'clock. When you come up, you'll be giving a thumbs up here at 10 o'clock. Release, thumbs down. So 6 o'clock, thumbs up, thumbs down. And fast, it looks like you are holding that hoop in the same place every time. Alright, another concept that I like to address while I am teaching this move, or any hoop move, is the concept of balance. So we want to be balanced. So we want to practice this move on the right hand and get out of our comfort zone and practice that move on the other hand as well. So let me show you how it looks on your opposite direction. So you're at 6 o'clock. We're going to go again clockwise. I always start with clockwise first. Crank up. Now your thumb is down. If you're on your left hand, your thumb is down when you're going clockwise. So crank up to 10 o'clock, release. 10 o'clock, release, and grab. At 2 o'clock, your left hand, your thumb is going to be up, and crank down at 6 o'clock again. So if you'll notice, when you're doing the one-handed isolation, your thumb is pointing, when you start, your thumb is pointing to your right. If you're doing the right-handed isolation, your thumb starts and you're pointing to the left. So with your right hand, your thumb will be pointing to the left when you start. With your left hand, your thumb will be pointing to the right when you start. So here's what the left-handed isolation looks like. Okay? And then you can switch between the two. So if you haven't done the two-handed isolation yet, you probably need to work on that. But you can switch between the two. So I'm going to do a right-handed isolation, and when I get down here at 6 o'clock, I will switch. So looks like this. Okay, and also the concept of balance. You want to balance everything. In life, we want to balance work and play, or work and recreation. And in our hooping, we want to balance both sides of our body. We need to balance both sides of our minds also. So we went clockwise and we did both hands. We did our right hand clockwise and our left hand clockwise. Well, we want to do everything counterclockwise as well. So it will also help you if your goal is to be in shape. You want to balance both sides of your body so that you don't have muscles forming in weird shapes and things like that. And also, if you're interested in hooping and being improving your hooping skills, balancing your both sides is going to help you to be a more skillful hooper. So here's what counterclockwise looks like with your left hand. Counterclockwise is going this way. So remember, with your left hand, you're going to grab the inside of the hoop, crank up till 2 o'clock, release. Your hand is going to be like this. Of course, it will be faster. Grab at 10 o'clock. Your thumb will be pointing down and crank down. So here's what it looks like fast. That's not really fast, but you know what I mean. And here's with your right hand going counterclockwise. Your hand is at the bottom at 6 o'clock, crank up to 2 o'clock, release, grab at 10 o'clock, crank down. So here you can go. This takes a lot of practice, and see, mine aren't as smooth as I would like them to be, so just practice. And there you go. And also, another tip for practicing is you just hold the hoop and circle the hoop with your hand so that you can get into the practice of motion, this motion. So here, you don't want it to be where your hand is staying in the same place. You want your hand to go, you want the hoop to stay in the same place and your hand to go around the hoop. Okay, so another thing that I go over with children, so we talked about the concept of balance, we talked about clock skills, we talked about counterclockwise and clockwise, and I talk about the human body and the shoulder joints and how your shoulder is on a ball and socket. So a warm up for this move is going to be swimming, and when you do this, you'll feel how your shoulder joint is on a ball and socket, and I go both ways, and just that mindfulness of how your body is moving and how your shoulders are on a ball and socket. And you know, the ball and socket looks like this, and you can feel how your shoulder moves in all of those directions. So I like to talk about that, and how your elbows need to be kind of straight, a little bit straight, but they're on a hinge. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this and that it's helpful. Put a comment if you have a question. Thanks.